Back to school may look a bit different in each and every home this fall, but there are a few best practices that all parents can use to prepare their students for success no matter the format. Today, we're joined by life coach for moms and founder of Moms Mentoring Circle, Deborah Porter, with new research to help you prepare. Hi, Deborah.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. So you spent some time interviewing professionals that have some incredible feedback about what we can do to prepare our students, regardless of whatever format they're going to be learning in. And those best practices today are going to be shared by an online educator, a classroom educator, and an online security expert. So I want to jump right in because I think the information we can learn from an online educator is so key right now.
Definitely. Very helpful because it's not a space that most of us have been in with our children. And so our online educator, Deborah Fillman out of North Carolina, shared with us, and I really found this to be very interesting and very helpful for parents. Don't hesitate to take frequent breaks or allow your child to take frequent breaks, especially if the stress is high, because they're not going to retain or even understand what they're learning if they are feeling really stressed. Let's face it, most of our children are used to learning with a teacher in a classroom. And so this new environment may take a bit for children to adjust to it. So if they need a break, let them take the break. The other thing she mentioned that we really need to think about is frequent check-ins with our children. Instead of open-ended questions instead of questions like, how was your day, where there's a yes or no, think about an open-ended question such as, what went really well today? Or perhaps what didn't go so well today. And then keep notes of what your children are telling you, because when you have a moment to then talk or communicate with their teacher, you want to be able to give him or her that feedback. You want to be able to find out from the teacher, they're really doing great here. There are some issues here. How can you support us, or how can you help me to support my child? So you don't want to necessarily communicate that with the teacher on a daily basis, because again, this is a new environment for everyone. But once you see that there's a pattern or there's an area that they're really struggling in and need support, you need to reach out and contact that teacher.
And I think there's some similarities when we think about an online educator and then a classroom educator and what they would say about what this new frontier is.
Very true. The other thing that she wanted to mention, which I thought was very helpful, if your child was receiving any kind of educational support in the classroom, in the building, an IEP, a 504, whatever your state may call it, that support should follow them into the virtual space. You will need to hold your school district accountable to that. You'll need to make sure that everyone involved knows that, my child was getting some support here. We're definitely going to need that even now.
Definitely. And then when we think about other classroom educator feedback, what did you find?
Well, our classroom educator was CJ Charles out of California. The first thing she did, and what I really appreciate about all of these professionals, their first instinct was really to put parents at ease. And so her first point was, if your school has gone into any kind of a virtual space, there may be a hybrid going on, don't feel any pressure to create a classroom or a school environment in your home. It's your home, and it's going to be your home. So kids need a cleaned off private, area to be able to do their work, but there's no need to go out investing in a whole lot of things that's going to make this look like a school. You don't have to do that. She also said that we need to really have patience with ourselves, with our kids, and with the school district. As we're navigating through this, everyone is learning what to do and everyone is trying to pull out best practices. She wants us to remember that our school counselors are still a great resource. If our children are feeling overly stressed or anxiety, the school resource really for that is going to be your school counselor. The last thing she mentioned was, be careful not to email the teacher on a daily basis with concerns. There are going to be concerns. We're working this out. But she also, as our online educator mentioned, keeping a list of some things and really waiting a day or two, because some of these kinks will work themselves out. So give it a couple of days before you feel the need to really jump right into the teacher to figure out exactly what is it. Let everybody have a little bit of grace here for yourselves and also for the educators. We're all doing the best we can to provide our kids with the best possible learning experience that they can have this year.
Absolutely. Grace is so important in the midst of all of this. Now, we have about a minute left. So I want to make sure we also consider the impacts of online learning and online security on that online learning. So you spoke with someone that gave you some great tips on how to keep your learning environment secure.
Yes, Farida Shahid out of Maryland. Keeping your password safe was the biggest point she made. Using an app like LastPass or something similar to be able to keep all the passwords in one place that's secure. Also, parental controls. You can get alerts from whoever your carrier is for Wi-Fi. You can get alerts that an Xbox is signed in. It may be school hours. That Xbox shouldn't be signing in. So keep those handy as well. And then just check with your provider about being able to split your router so that half of the router can be for guests with a separate password and then the other router for schooling and business.
That's really good feedback. I mean, I think in the midst of all of this and us trying to transition quickly, not everyone may be thinking about the impacts of, healthy password management and, keeping people safe as their information is flowing between both the school or, homeschool assistants and then also the child. So that is so important. Thank you so much for being with us, for sharing these best practices. It's kind of like a wealth of information all in just a few minutes. You've done a fantastic job of collecting this, and I know that parents are so grateful.
Thank you. It was helpful, I think, for a lot of people. Thank you so much.
To learn more about Mom's Mentoring Circle and the incredible research that she's been doing, please visit our website at WTVR.com/BTM.